All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. We've got a full 15-game MLB slate after a crazy trade deadline. We're going to talk about some of those trades, who got better, who got worse. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below with your favorite play of the day. A recap from yesterday, we had a very small 3-game slate, but I did give you guys 3 best bets, one for each game. Bring out the brooms, 3-0. We had the Reds race to 3. That was a wild game, which we'll talk about. We had New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays, both teams to score 3. Check. And we had the Mariners -1. Ended up winning 6-0. So very nice 3-0 sweep, up 2.5 units. Nice way to end July. So let's get into this card for best bets for you guys to kick off August here. So we got the Braves and the Reds. A little surprising that the Reds ended up being buyers here. So they got Zach Littell, which is interesting. I'm not really sure how he fits in that rotation, but we'll see. I assume Nick Martinez goes, but things will get interesting when Hunter Green comes back. Maybe Chase Burns moves to the pen. I'm not sure. But we have Brady Singer and Bryce Elder. Reds did also pick up Miguel Andujar from the A's. I assume he'll probably be in the lineup today. Wasn't good news for Rhys Hines, who got sent down. Connor Joe's not long for this world either. But Singer in day games that start before 1 p.m. He's pitched in 3 of them this season. Hasn't won a single one yet. 0-3. That said, when the Braves allow more than 9 runs, they don't do too well in the next game. They're 2-8 going back to 2023, and they're 0-3 this season. So we've got 2 interesting lines here. Now, on the other side, Bryce Elder, 4-7, giving up almost a 300 opponent average, a 6.29 ERA that does go down ever so slightly to 6 on the road, but his splits are awful. Righties are crushing him. Lefties are hitting 258, but righties are hitting 400. Singer, is he looking better? Maybe. Still not someone I necessarily trust, but yeah, this is kind of a tricky game. I think the line's a little high here. In terms of the weather, it's going to be about 75 degrees. We do have the wind blowing in from left center at about 12 miles an hour, and it's a day game, right? So these guys are going to finish this game up in Cincinnati, and then they are going to head to Bristol for the Motor Speedway Series tomorrow, which should be pretty awesome. It's just too high for the Reds, -147. I mean, good news is they didn't really use too many bullpen arms yesterday. Graham Ashcraft got used a little bit. Yeah, it'd be Braves for me, but I just can't really get on board with with this price. I mean, -135 is not awful to pay for the Reds, but during day games and Brady Singer, I don't trust him. I do like the over 9. It's just with the wind blowing in, it's not my favorite. So it'd be over 9 or the Reds for me, or the Braves, I mean, in this one. Next game, Baltimore and the Cubs. Baltimore just went total seller mode. Cedric Mullins, no longer on the team. O'Hearn, Laureano, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Charlie Morton, Gregory Soto, Kittredge, Urias, all gone. Pretty crazy. So how do we take an Orioles team that lost, a couple of key bats and a lot of key arms? So it's got to be Cubs for me, but give me the first 5 under 4.5 in this one. I think it's too much. With the wind blowing in at Wrigley, home runs are projected to be down 40%, runs down 21%. We've got a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight in from center field that could gust up to 15, 16 miles an hour, which wind plays a major factor here. And it's going to be 72 degrees, so it's not going to be overly warm. 220 start on this one. Yeah, give me the first 5 under 4.5. Cade Horton has been really good at Wrigley, especially when the wind's blowing in. He's been fantastic. Splits over the last 30 days, 100 average to righties, 280 to lefties. Trevor Rogers has just been fantastic on the season. He's 4-1, giving up a 149 opponent average. Giving up a 154 average to righties, a 0 average to lefties over the last 30 days. Hard hit percentage is high though. It is 50%. So when they're barreling it, it's going. But the wind's going to help here substantially. So I love this spot here. Yeah, it would be first 5 under 4.5 for me. But we've just seen it all season. When we play in these games with the wind blowing in like this, you have to take the Cubs. They're just really good at Wrigley playing in the wind like this. So this would be Cubs. But like I said, first 5 under 4.5 is going to be our best bet in that contest. All right, next game is going to be Milwaukee and Washington. Jose Quintana going up against Mitchell Parker. Mitchell doesn't strike out a lot of guys. Hard hit percentage is absolutely through the roof. And you've got Quintana, who has been pitching really well against lefties, and you got a Nationals team that can't hit a lefty to save their life over the last several weeks. This is a bottom 3 team versus lefties. Nationals, what decent bullpen arms they did have are gone. Finnegan got traded, Call got traded, so it's going to be a ragtag bunch in that bullpen. We're going to take the Brewers, but we're going to parlay them with another team. So Brewers on the money line. Also, don't mind Brewers -1. You can get that at -129 on DraftKings. Don't know if I would necessarily go with the run line today just because the wind is going to be blowing in. There's a slight chance of rain, 23% chance of rain, but 74 degrees. We see this. There's kind of a cold front moving over the Midwest. So, not as hot as it's been, so it should impact all these overs we've been seeing lately. Next game is going to be Detroit and Philly. Pretty good matchup here. We get Ranger Suarez going up against Jack Flaherty. Tigers added Charlie Morton, which I can't get on board with that. And then they added Paul Sewell, the relief pitcher from the Guardians, so not a terrible ad there. When we look at the Phillies, they short up the closer role considering Alvarado with his PED issue, which will be interesting because Alvarado will be coming back, but he'll be ineligible for the postseason. So maybe he ends up being the 8th inning guy. But Johan Duran from the Twins, and they also added Harrison Bader as well for a little depth in that outfield. Now, do we want to jump on board with this Tigers train that they've won 4 straight, but they were playing a D-backs team that is clearly checked out? We're playing in Citizens Bank Park with the wind blowing in. Wind matters at Citizens Bank. It's actually a very high wind impact. You got Ranger Suarez versus Flaherty. Flaherty on the road has not been good this season. 6.28 ERA, giving up a 250 average to lefties, 295 to righties over the last 30 days. Hard hit percentage very high. Suarez, he's been getting hit, but they're not getting a ton of runs off of him. 250 to lefties, 344 to righties, but hard hit percentage at 29%. That's absurdly low. This would be one I would take the under 8. I think with the wind blowing in, both teams adding a little bit of depth here. I do like the under here. We got fresh arms, so give me the under 8 as the best bet. At this price, you have to take the Tigers. Can't pay this for Philly. So under 8 would be the way I'd play that one. Kansas City and Toronto. Michael Wacha going up against Kevin Gausman. Wacha has been really good over the last 30 days, giving up a 178 average to lefties, 167 to righties, only a 33% hard hit percentage, 205 average with runners in scoring position, but on the road hasn't really been his thing. 4.5 ERA on the road. On the other side, you got Kevin Gausman, who's looked pretty decent. 7-7 on the season's got a 3.82 ERA. Does jump ever so slightly to 3.92 at home, but last 30 days excellent against lefties at 116, but he's been giving it up against righties. And this is a Royals team. You really got to handicap more from the right-handed side. So this would be Royals for me. It's kind of scary, though, to avoid these Toronto bats who have been absolutely on fire. And they hit this pitch mix well from Wacha. They're second hitting the cutter, second hitting the slider, second hitting the curveball, 7th hitting the changeup from righties. So it's actually pretty scary here. But pitch mix for Gausman. Royals are 9th hitting the fastball, 5th hitting the sinker. So he's a 3-pitch pitcher, really almost a 2-pitch pitcher. He kind of throws fastball and sinker. So this would be Royals for me at this price. Next game is going to be Minnesota and Cleveland. Minnesota, insane. They went absolutely nuts on who they traded. So let's get into that list. They traded Castro, they traded Duran, they traded Paddock, Correa, Colomb, Bader, Stewart, Jax, and Varland. So they literally just have nobody. They have 2 players under contract for next season. I think they have Buxton and Pablo Lopez. That is it. It's pretty damn wild. So this one, we got Joe Ryan going up against Gavin Williams. It's the most suspicious line ever, given Minnesota's lack of depth, both with hitting and pitching. Now Joe Ryan's been really good. He's 10-5 this season with a 200 opponent average. He's got a 2.82 ERA, jumps to down to 2.51 on the road. Gavin Williams at home's been pretty damn good, actually. Splits over the last 30 days, 100 average to lefties, 296 to righties, which is elevated. But he's got a 3 ERA at home. No reason here not to back the Guardians. They've been hitting righty pitching well, and this is a Twins team that frankly just got gutted. So you tell me how motivated they're going to be to play today. So this is going to be the Guardians. Give me the Guardians on the money line at home in this contest. All right, next game is going to be the Yankees and the Marlins. We got Carlos Rodon going up against Jansen Junk. Yankees made some moves, kind of shored up that bullpen a little bit. They went out and got Bednar from the Pirates, and they got Duvall from the Giants. They got McMahon from the Rockies, so a little bit of offensive depth, which he got a walk-off the other day. And then for the Marlins, they did lose Jesus Sanchez, but they picked up Ryan Gusto. That's awful. If we look at the Marlins, 6-10 at home this season versus a lefty starter, but they are 9-7-0 to the over. This would be one I'd probably take the Marlins plus 1.5. Junk's been pretty good. Obviously, Rodon's Rodon. He's going to do pretty good, but this is a Marlins team over last week. They've been hitting lefties well, and I just don't know if I buy into the Yankees being that, right? They had to play yesterday. Marlins had the day off. Yankees had to travel. I think probably a fairly low-scoring game. The over, I would take the under 8. And you can get the Marlins plus 1.5 at minus 115. So that's how I would play that one. Next game is going to be Houston and Boston. I believe it's going to be Cooper Criswell pitching going up against Hunter Brown here. Now, the Astros obviously made some big splashes here, getting Carlos Correa from the Twins. They got Urias from the Orioles, and then Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. So really beefed up this team. So I think we might see some offensive production. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Carlos Correa kind of step things back up as he comes back home to Houston. So pretty exciting there. If we look at the Astros last season versus the Red Sox, they went 3-0 in Fenway. Definitely had the pitching advantage today. I would say offensively, they got a pretty nice surge there. For the Red Sox, picking up Dustin May, I don't think moves the needle whatsoever for Boston. So nothing major there in terms of acquisitions. So this would be Astros for me in this contest. In terms of the weather, it is going to be 64 degrees. There is a 27% chance of rain. And we do have the wind blowing in kind of from center field and right field, but not much, somewhere between 2 to 4 miles an hour. So this would be Astros for me in this spot. The next game is going to be San Francisco and New York. So pretty good pitching matchup here. We get Robbie Ray going up against David Peterson, two lefties kind of duking it out. Now the Mets over the last 2 weeks have been god-awful against lefties, hitting 194, 75 WRC plus. Over the past week, it drops all the way down to 137 and a 20 WRC plus. That said, Giants are coming off a home series. Did have to travel across the country, but had that day off, so that is nice. I can see this being a really low-scoring game. It is going to be 69 degrees. There is a 22% chance of rain, so little on the cooler side. Wind is going to be blowing in, which does have an impact here, but 7.5 with a pretty beefed-up Mets bullpen now. I like the moves that the Mets made. I thought that was really good. Giants, not so much. So this would be the Mets for me, but man, this is a hefty price to pay. But it would be Mets at minus 136 would be the only way I would go. But I do like the under, maybe first 5 under in this one. Next game is going to be the Dodgers and the Rays. So this is going to be Clayton Kershaw going up against Shane Baz. So Kershaw on the season 4-2, giving up a 258 opponent average, got a 362 ERA. It does go down a little bit on the road, but splits over the last 30 days. haven't been fantastic, giving up a 353 average to lefties, 300 to righties, 46% hard hit percentage. We look at Shane Baz. He's been a bit of a wild card here, but more so in a bad way. Doesn't really pitch too well at old Steinbrenner Field. He's got 11 starts under his belt here. He's got a 6.5 ERA, 241 average to lefties, 322 to righties. The question is, will Tampa Bay hit lefties? Because they really haven't been. They've definitely been struggling against lefties, but I think this Dodgers bullpen's a little susceptible, and I think the Rays are going to get to them at home. So give me the over 9 in this one. I think the Dodgers are going to get theirs. So we are going to take the over 9 in this contest. That way we don't have to pay this kind of exorbitant fee here for the Dodgers. So over 9 is going to be the best bet there. Next game, Pirates and the Rockies. This is talk about games no one cares about. This is going to be Andrew Heaney going up against Antonio Senzatella. I mean, don't bet this game. Good God. Pirates have no bullpen. Yeah, it's over or nothing for me. It's going to be 79 degrees. There is a 13% chance of rain. In terms of wind and things like that, the wind is going to be blowing out. Home runs are going to be up. Everything's up. It's over 11.5. Just two terrible teams, two terrible pitchers. Heaney on the road's been getting shelled. He's got a 6.5 ERA in 11 away starts. Senzatella's got a 6.5 ERA in 11 home starts, giving up a 300 average to lefties and righties. Both of these pitchers, Heaney over the last 30 days, 385 to lefty, 306 to righties. Senzatella, 326 to lefties, 313 to righties. Massive hard hit percentages. Over 11.5 seems reasonable if I trusted either of these offenses, but you've got the Rockies hitting 205 against lefties, and you've got the Pirates hitting 216 against righties over the past week. So it's just two really, really bad teams. So I'm just going to fade this game completely. Next game is going to be the White Sox and the Angels. Tyler Anderson going up against Shane Smith. I do believe he hasn't been officially announced, but I do think it's Shane Smith. This is one we've seen the White Sox really kind of hitting lefties quite well until Luzardo rolled in, and then they struggled to hit him. But still a team that should hit today. Angels made a couple of acquisitions, picked up a couple of relievers, but nothing crazy. White Sox really didn't do too much either way. Did send Austin Slater over to the Yankees, but by and large, pretty intact still. Kind of like the over 9.5. Anderson's been okay at home, but I think this White Sox team hits, and we've got the wind blowing out, and it's going to be 77 degrees. I think the Angels should be able to get to Shane Smith. He's struggled against righties over the last 30 days, giving up a 375 average and 46% hard hit percentage. So it would be the Angels. I think you're actually getting a decent price to take the home team, but I do like the over 9.5 in this one as well. All right, a couple more games left here to cover on this card. We've got the Cardinals and the Padres. Matthew Liberatore going up against Nick Pivetta. Cardinals got gutted a little bit, lost some pitching, so that is going to hurt them. Lost their closer, and the Padres just absolutely beefed up. I think they gave up a lot. I don't think it's worth what they gave up for what they got, but we'll see. Pivetta at home this season, been pretty good. He's got a 2.07 ERA in 11 home starts. Liberatore's got a little over a 3.5 ERA in 9 away starts, but his splits have not looked good lately. He's given up a 421 average to lefties, 333 average to righties over the last 30 days. Pivetta's been outstanding, 158 to lefties, 170 to righties. Hard hit percentage is a little high, but he does come with some high velo. It's just a Cardinals team that I don't think is motivated to play today. So give me the Padres, and we're going to pair them with the Brewers for plus 167. So I like this spot here. We get the Padres team at home with a very beefed up pen that's looking pretty good, and going up against a Cardinals team that frankly is just playing to get the season over with now. All right, next game is going to be Texas and Seattle. This one is going to be Jack Leiter going up against Logan Gilbert. Leiter's been terrible on the road this season. He's 2-7 on the road this season. Logan Gilbert has pitched very well against the Rangers in the course of his career. Hasn't pitched him a ton in Seattle. But this would be Seattle for me. But man, the price is ridiculously high. I would lean towards the over 7.5. I do expect Texas to get a few runs across, but I don't think I get to the ticket window with any of that. I mean, technically, Texas is hitting way better than Seattle, but we didn't see that yesterday. So there is a little bit of value taking Texas, but Logan Gilbert at home's not someone I really like to fade. So it would be Seattle for me. All right, and our last game here, we don't have any betting lines or anything like that, and it's honestly not even on the card here on the screen, but it's going to be the D-backs and the A's. It's going to be Anthony DeSclafani going up against Jacob Lopez. Obviously, the D-backs lost a couple of people, so they ended up getting rid of Merrill Kelly, so DeSclafani's going to step into that starting role. Probably going to have to work his way up in terms of arm conditioning and things like that. He's only thrown 23 innings on the season. DeSclafani, he's an okay guy. Remember him from the Marlins. The Reds had him for a little bit. Jacob Lopez, I never really know what I'm going to get from him, but this would be one that I would take Oakland at home going up against a team that we just saw against the Tigers just got absolutely destroyed. And I, don't love DeSclafani, and I think Lopez at home's pretty serviceable. So this would be athletics, but like I said, haven't seen a line for that. All right, let's get into our best bets. Get you guys on your way. I appreciate you guys tuning in. So first best bet is going to be the Orioles and the Cubs under 4.5 for the first 5. Like I said, we've got a big wind blowing in at Wrigley. We've got a depleted Orioles lineup, so let's just take the under. Guardians on the money line. It's the trappiest line of the day, but hey, hook, line, and sinker, I'm in here. Give me the Padres and the Brewers. Pair them together on the money line, plus 167 on BetMGM. And then we're going to take the Dodgers and the Rays over 9, trusting that Kershaw and Baz are going to give up some runs here. So those are the 4 best bets I have for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you in the video tomorrow.